All right. Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. All right, double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone, of Well, and peace and salutations to the beloved elect. All right, scattered across the four corners of the earth, whom Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, has deemed mercy on in these last days, and is giving diligence to meet their calling and election sure. Shalom to you, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatam. All right, so I'm coming back again through the Spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai with another lesson. And I'm pretty much going to entitle this, We're Not Off the Hook Yet. Salaki, we're not off the hook yet until we're in the chariot. All right, we're not off the hook yet until we are in the chariot, man. All right, the scriptures tells us that he that endureth unto the end, all right, the same shall be saved, man. Okay, and see, we're not over here serving the Lord with lip service like Christians, man. Okay, just, completely being wicked, having no fear of the Lord. Okay, not being obedient to anything that Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai said, and thinking that we're just entitled to a deliverance. No, it don't work that way, man. Okay, it doesn't work that way, man. All right, the scripture tells you, man, that the fear of the Lord, all right, is the beginning of wisdom, man. All right, and that's very, very important. And that fear is what keeps us on track, man. Okay, see, these Christians are just, they ain't the Lord ain't dealing with them. I'm gonna say that, man. Okay, they're not doing anything that Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai said to do. Okay, they're in the come as you are spirit, and everything is gonna be okay. And that's not how this thing works, man. All right, the scripture says, all right, even as far as us being delivered, it says that we're going to be delivered through what? Our faith and our works. So this isn't something where you're just sitting here stagnant and not showing forth any work, man. Okay, but anyways, I'm not going to get too amped up with these whack ass Christians, man. But the Spirit was on me to do this lesson, man, and okay, and just pretty much chime in on the importance of enduring unto the end, man. Yes, we've been called into this thing, okay, but it's about being chosen, and that's why our apostles and our elders push diligence, as the scripture says, as Yahweh Shai says. Okay, and yeah, man, we almost out of here, man. All right, now once again, I entitled this, we are not off the hook yet until we're in those chariots, man. Okay, once we're in those chariots, okay, once what's that in the book of Thessalonians, where it speaks about those that are alive and remain are going to be caught up to meet the Lord in the air, man. Once that happens, then it's finished, man. Okay, but until then, man, it's still work to do, man, and it's still a lot more enduring that we have to endure, as considering things that's coming down the pipe. All right, one of those things is the persecution, man. Okay, the time of the MOTB, which also equates to the hour of temptation. Okay, these are all obstacles that we as the men of the Lord are gonna have to face, man. And every day, man, I try to tell myself every day, to understand what you're involved in. Okay, know what you're fighting for. Okay, and as the scripture says too, man, hey, let us not sleep as others do, man. All right, and those precepts are all exhortations to your brothers out there that's fighting the good fight in faith, man. All right, Paul's epistles, where he speaks about being sober and being vigilant, because what? Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, is seeking whom he may devour. So that right there shows you that it's a continual fight, man. Okay, see, once again, these Christians, man, and Lord willing, the Spirit allow, we're gonna do a series, man, dealing with Christians teach what the Most High, Christians teach what the Bible doesn't teach. Lord's will. Okay, I know, brothers have to work and, grind, and you know what I mean, but yeah, man, the Lord's not dealing with that. He's dealing with works. The scripture says what? Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. So, we're not off the hook yet, man. And it's about enduring unto the end, man. Okay, and it's gonna be a fight. All right, the Lord said He's a man of war, man. So, why wouldn't He expect a fight out of us, man? Okay. So I want to read a scripture. And Lord willing, it's edifying. This is actually the second time that I did the lesson, because as I was sitting back meditating, there was a few more things that I wanted to actually say. And when I actually did the lesson, I was actually on my way to work. Okay, but now I'm off work. I'm headed home, so I'm not really in a rush to get home as I would be as far as getting to work. Okay, and let me see real quick. Let's see what I got. Let me get this real quick. All right, this is the book of which I had quoted it, but this is the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, and no, hold on a second. Dang it. So lucky, brothers. Oh, this is the book of well, I'm gonna get this too. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 7, man. Okay, it says, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Hey, and that's very important, man. And that prayer, man, because these demons, man, are on fucking overtime, and they ain't stopping. So we can't be stopped. That's why it says be fervent. Okay, them demons ain't gonna stop doing what they do until we actually get the victory, brothers. Okay, so this isn't a thing where you put your sword down and no, it's gonna be a constant fight, man. Okay, it says but the end of all things is at hand, right? But right, the end of Esau, the end of our captivity. Okay, the end of Babylon the Great, and the Most High is gonna take this place out with severe judgment, man. Okay, as we all know. Okay, the Most High is going to take this place out by fire, man. Okay, thermonuclear fire. Okay, and we don't want no parts of that, man. All right, hey, that's something that, look, even meditating on the time of Noah, man, when the Lord, when he caused the earth to flood. Hey, brothers, that drowning underwater is a horrible fucking way to go out, man. Okay. All right, that's a horrible way to go out, man. Say you stranded in the ocean, and the waves is kicking and doing their thing, and then you underwater, you're trying to get to the top and get some air, but it's too late, and then you open your mouth and you inhale, and then the water comes into your lungs. That's a horrible way to go out. Okay, a horrible way to go out. Okay, but see, this time, the way this place is going to go out is going to be by fire, man. And that fire ain't going to be no joke. All right, the scripture says it's going to be poured out without mixture, man. And it ain't something that you can sit there and say, oh, it's going to be a quick. Nah, man, the scripture says, fear him that can kill the body and the soul, man. Hey, the Most High can make you feel that fire for a long time. Okay? So yes, it says, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Yeah, being sober meaning being locked in the spirit. Okay, on your watch. Okay, being circumspect. That's also part of being sober, man. Examining yourself, whether you're in the faith or not. That's another form of being sober. Okay, and even too, you know, you also don't want to be. See, we in a time too where you really don't want to be too intoxicated physically, man. Okay, now there's nothing wrong with having a drink or whatever, but you know, we in a time where a moderation is important, man. Okay, and you know, that's one thing that I had to learn in my walk. Okay, you know, as far as being in this battle, you know, some brothers can sip a little harder, you know, some brothers can't. I just recognizing that, hey, in order for me to be mentally good in my walk, I can't sip like I used to sip. That's just me. Not knocking any brothers that do it. Okay, but I don't want to have myself in a situation where I can't function in the spirit, man. Okay, so I may sip on the weekends, but I do my best to stay away from it on the weekdays. You know, that way I can get the videos in, you know, going to the gym, you know, because hey brothers, staying on top of your health, okay, it's important too in this ministry, man. Okay, because if we ain't taking care of these bodies, how are we gonna do the work? Okay, right? So it says, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover a multitude of sins. That's right, man. A charity, man, hospitality, man, to one another. You know, to the brotherhood. Hey, you know, there might be a particular brother might be down, and he might need help. You might have an opportunity to help that brother, and the Lord can get you off the hook on certain particular things just based off of that. Being in it sincerity, man. And what did Yahushua say? Yahushua said, there's no greater love than a man that lays down his life for his brother, man. So, you know, that's important, man. Okay, so so let me and I'm not gonna make this too long. I just wanted to encourage, you know, as far as myself and brothers to keep pushing, man. Brothers, we winning. Look, brothers. Hey, this thing finna go down. Hey, Trump talking about making it harder for these people to get food stamps, brothers. So that plays into the prophecy of the Lord fucking these women up, man. Okay, that's also an end time prophecy, because the scripture says that they're going to lament for the teats. All right, he said for these women to rise up that are at ease. He killed his daughters. So, Trump is he's stirring the pot, man. Okay, he's stirring the pot. All right, because a lot of this at easeness in Babylon that these women have, they're getting ready to feel the pinch. Okay, so brothers, we have all the reason to endure, man. Look, man, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yashai has been gearing us up for what's coming down the pipe. Whether it's the well, I'm gonna say this, ultimately, you know, for the MOTV, okay, but also for a persecution, okay, and you know, I meditate on, you know, how the scripture says that the devil's gonna cast some of us into prison, and I guarantee you that one of the main precepts that brothers are gonna be feeding off of is the one where Yahweh Shai said, that the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, but be faithful unto death. Okay, that was the exhortation from Yahweh Shai. Okay, so The average Jake's not gonna be able to, or they weren't blessed with that spirit. They weren't blessed with that mindset. Okay, that's for the elect. Okay. Shalakim is pulling up to the house. That's for the elect, man. As concerning receiving, as concerning getting the victory. Okay. The elect are gonna look back on that precept and take heed to it. Okay. So, you know, it's plenty of more enduring that we have to go through, man, in order for us to be off the hook, man. We don't ever want to get proud in this thing and think that we just got it. Nah, man. Look what the Lord doing to some of these niggas that got proud and were settled upon the leads. They out of there. Look at this dude, Gorilla Hebrew, man. He's completely gone. And has put on the attire of a gangbanger. Because, hey, the nigga was proud. So, you know, we don't ever want to, you know, forget who, you know, who taught us. Like the scripture says, all right, you know, that's where a lot of guys fall off at, is because, like the apostles say, to learn a few precepts, okay, get proud, and think the Lord is dealing with them, and then they end up turning out to be a bunch of fucking reprobates, man. And we've seen that, man, from the Gorilla to the Nazariah to the old head of Chicago, the dark-skinned dude. Okay. So hey brothers, I'm gonna close it out there. You know, I just wanted to get this, you know, quick video in, man, and we ain't on the hook yet, but you know, we have much enduring to do, man. So just continue to endure. I'm saying this to myself. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaKadosh. All right, double honors to our apostles, the great millstone of the world, and peace and shalom to the elect. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, Baruch Atah.